As Stranger Things approaches its final chapter, the world of Hawkins feels like a wound that refuses to heal. The cracks tearing through streets, the red lightning pulsing through the sky, and the growing bleed-through between worlds reflect a truth the characters have been too afraid to say out loud. The end isn't coming, it already began. Season 5 Part 1 lays the groundwork for the most metaphysical and emotionally destructive season yet. It has shown glimpses of strange entities, memory echoes, distorted timelines, and psychic disturbances that feel less like isolated events and more like symptoms of a single terrifying cause. It is within these shadows that the theories below come to life, each one grounded in evidence scattered across seasons 1 to 4 and the first half of season 5. Each one building on the logic of Stranger Things' universe, and each one designed to answer the question, what is truly waiting beneath the surface of Hawkins' final stand? To understand this ending, we must begin with the most unsettling possibility of all. Since Season 4, fans have clung to the explanation that the Upside Down is frozen on the day Will was taken. But Season 5 Part 1 begins to poke holes in this assumption. The environment shifts subtly. Structures appear changed. Organic growth resets in places it shouldn't. The narrator proposes something far more disturbing. The Upside Down isn't frozen. It's looping, like a damaged record caught repeating the same moment forever. What if the Upside Down is not a separate world at all, but a repeating memory? A psychic echo trapped in a feedback cycle, replaying the moment it first imprinted itself onto reality? This reframes the entire mythology. The demonic vines, the spores, the decayed structures, they behave less like geographic features and more like replicated data. Vecna's ability to reshape the environment suddenly makes sense. He is manipulating a memory environment, not a physical one. The Mind Flayer's forms resemble fractal patterns common in recursive loops. The dimension reacts to emotions and psychic distress because it is made of them. If the Upside Down loops, the date frozen in time isn't a timestamp. It's a trauma stamp, the moment the dimension was first burned into existence through a psychic shockwave. Not caused by Will, but synced to him as a recipient. This foreshadows a brutal truth. The heroes are not fighting a world. They're fighting a repetition, and breaking the loop may require returning to the moment it was first formed, a moment connected to Henry Creel and maybe even to Eleven's birth. Season 5 Part 1 shifts Vecna's presence dramatically. Instead of fully appearing, he manifests through distortions, disembodied whispers, shared dreams, echo voices that break across multiple locations simultaneously. This isn't weakness. This is diffusion. The narrator suggests that Vecna has transcended his own body, dissolving his consciousness across the entirety of the Upside Down. No longer a wizard-like villain pulling strings, he is becoming the string itself. A distributed intelligence, a networked consciousness. Evidence. Vines attack with more autonomy. Psychic echoes appear without Vecna physically present. Creatures behave with coordination rather than instinct. Environmental distortions respond immediately to emotional spikes. Vecna is no longer a general commanding an army. He is the army. This evolution means the final battle won't be a fight against one entity, but against a field of intelligence that permeates the dimension and bleeds into the real world. Killing Vecna would require shutting down the entire system, possibly destroying the Upside Down itself. But doing so may collapse whatever psychic threads bind Eleven, Will, or the cracks in reality. If Vecna becomes the dimension, then the characters aren't fighting a villain. They're fighting a world with a soul. From Season 1 to Season 5 Part 1, Eleven's powers have risen, crashed, recovered, and fluctuated in ways that seem tied to trauma or stress. But Season 5 hints at a different pattern, one that feels less psychological and more instinctual. Every time Eleven reaches deeper into her power, she hesitates. She pulls back. Her eyes flicker with fear not of failure, but of the consequences of success. The narrator suggests a radical explanation. Eleven's powers may be destabilizing the membrane between worlds. Her abilities open the first gate. Her emotions widened others. Her battles caused tremors that weakened reality. What if her subconscious mind has learned the truth her conscious mind refuses to accept? Every time she uses her powers at full strength, she tears reality further. This means Eleven's power loss isn't a flaw. It's a psychic safety protocol. Her mind is restraining her before she becomes the very weapon Vecna needs. This sets up a devastating conclusion. To save the world, Eleven may need to unleash the full force of her abilities one last time, even if doing so risks destroying herself. Or worse, risks merging her permanently with the Upside Down. Ever since Season 1, Will Byers has been the quiet center of the story. His connection to the Mind Flayer, his visions, his drawings, his temperature sensitivity, they were never accidents. Season 5, Part 1 intensifies this. Will senses disturbances before they happen. He hears whispers no one else catches. He experiences chills in places untouched by upside-down influence. The narrator suggests the truth fans have avoided. Will was chosen long before 11, long before Vecna fell into the dimension. The Mind Flayer infected him not to control him, but to preserve him, an anchor between worlds. Will may be the stabilizing node keeping the upside down tethered to reality. If Will dies, the connection breaks. If Will lives, Vecna can still use him. If Will fights back, the system destabilizes. This puts Will in a tragic position. He is both the lock and the key. This may explain why the final stage of the invasion seems to orbit Will specifically. The cracks widen when he is near. Creatures appear in proximity to his presence. The dimension reacts as if his body contains its heartbeat. Everything began when Will disappeared. Everything may end when Will understands why. Dr. Brenner's experiments have always been framed as attempts to create psychic soldiers, but Season 5 Part 1 hints that this explanation is too simple. There are references to old files, early sightings, unexplained dimensional anomalies, and government fear predating 11. The narrator proposes that Brenner's project was never about making weapons. It was about training humanity for survival. What if early scientists discovered evidence of the Upside Down decades before Hawkins? What if psychic disturbances were detected across the country? What if dimensional fractures appeared long before 11 was born? Brenner may have been arrogant, cruel, and manipulative, but perhaps he was also right to be afraid. This reframes the entire series. The government didn't cause the Upside Down. They detected it, and they may have known the truth. The invasion was inevitable. The experiments were preparation, not innovation. 11 wasn't created to open a gate. She was created because a gate was already opening. This is the narrator's boldest theory, one that ties every mystery together. The Upside Down reflects Hawkins perfectly. Its geography is identical. Its structures match the real world. Its scars look like the aftermath of an environmental collapse. Its silence feels less alien and more post-apocalyptic. What if the Upside Down isn't somewhere else, but someone else? A future Earth that suffered a catastrophic collapse, perhaps due to psychic contamination, dimensional warping, or global infection. A world preserved in decayed stasis, bleeding backward through time. This explains why human architecture exists, why no humans are present, extinction. Why the sky looks burned. Why the world behaves like a corpse of reality. Why time is fractured. Why 11's powers are tied to temporal distortions. If the Upside Down is Earth's future, then the cracks in Hawkins aren't dimensional tears. They are time fractures, and the final season becomes a time war for survival. Stop the invasion, right pointing arrow, prevent the future. Fail the invasion, right pointing arrow, become the future. In this scenario, Mr. Watsit, Vecna, and the Mind Flayer may not be invaders at all. They may be the evolved remnants of a future humanity twisted beyond recognition. When viewed together, these theories reveal a singular, terrible truth. Stranger Things was never about one monster, one villain, or one mistake. It has been about a chain of events stretching across time, memory, perception, and psychic evolution. A chain that began the moment the Upside Down touched reality. Mr. Watsit may be real. The Upside Down may be looping. Vecna may be a system. 11 may be suppressing herself. Will may be the key. Brenner may have known the end long before Hawkins. And the Upside Down may be Earth's final form. Whatever happens in the end, one thing is clear. Hawkins was never a battleground. It was the beginning, and Season 5 will be the end.